The other game, Bengals versus Chiefs, your Bengals lost.
Second favorite team, by the way.
Second favorite team, of course. So just give us some thoughts on there. I know there were some comments made prior to the game that you wanted to touch on.
So obviously, after the Bills game, when the Bengals won that game, the slot cornerback for the Bengals, Mike Hilton, first started off his career at the. If you don't know who he is, he started his career off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joined the Cincinnati Bengals in free agency of 2021, and he's been a hit for the Bengals. He's a really good slot corner. I think he's played well. I think he's played well his whole career. I think he's definitely underrated. But his comments after the Bills game, we'll see on Burrow had. I definitely did not agree with that. I really could not agree with that. I definitely think that was a setup. I know Travis Kelce does a podcast with his brother, Jason Kelce. Travis Kelce plays for the Chiefs. His brother, Jason Kelce, plays for the Eagles as center. And he was saying was how the disrespect of Arrowhead continues, according to Jason Kelce. And
Jason or Travis?
Jason Kelce said was like the disrespect to Arrowhead continues after that comment. And then Travis Kelce said he just said some like Guinness World Record fact that we're the loudest stadium on the Guinness World Record books, and he just felt like he was not impressed by it, and that really, I think, woke like a motivation thing, just like the Bengals have for the last couple of weeks with this, selling the tickets for a game that didn't even happen. Now they just did it to the Chiefs. Now they gave them something motivating, and I'm telling you, they played well. The Bengals played well, but I think that the Chiefs wanted it more just after that Burrow head comment. I definitely think that woke up a fire in their hearts.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that it did. I think it obviously served as motivation. But the way I look at it is, listen, any given day in the NFL, any given game, I mean, the moment you put on your pads and you put on that helmet and you walk out onto that field, it's a gamble. You could walk off hurt. You could walk off paralyzed. You could not walk off in the case of DeMar Hamlin. So, I mean, everything's a gamble. And when, what's his name again from the Bengals, said that?
Eli, I can't remember. Oh, Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton. When Mike Hilton said that, obviously that's a gamble too. Like, because he's saying it. Now, you're saying that it motivated the Chiefs to do better. I completely agree with that. But obviously he was using it as motivation for the Bengals, and I respect the comment. I like the comment. I think it. Listen, it makes the game better because it hurts feelings, but at the end of the day, let's be real. Travis Kelce's feelings weren't hurt. Travis Kelce knows exactly what the deal is. Patrick Mahomes' feelings weren't hurt. Andy Reid's feelings weren't hurt. They say that they're hurt to motivate. They almost motivate themselves by saying their feelings are hurt. Just like Hilton is motivating and backing up his quarterback. I just like the fact he was backing up his quarterback. I like that, and I think it adds a layer and element to the game. So I would not ever want guys to hold their tongue. I mean, that's good old fashioned, ribbing, good old fashioned, just talking a little bit of trash. So I liked the comment. I thought it was great. Actually, I thought it was pretty classy comment. And I'm sorry it didn't go the Bengals' way. I feel really bad for what's the fella's name, the defensive guy that pushed Mahomes out of bounds with like 3 seconds left or whatever to set up the field goal.
Joseph Osiasi. He's a rookie.
Second year, I thought.
Oh no, Joseph Osiasi. I think you might be thinking of someone else, but I believe Joseph Osiasi. I believe it might actually be a second year. I'm unsure about that.
I know he's from Nigeria.
I'm actually a little unsure, but I thought he was a rookie. I think he is a rookie. But I definitely feel like that wasn't a smart choice. But I also heard linebacker Jermaine Pratt after the game sound a little frustrated. I can't remember his exact words, but he was like mad. He was kind of like, it sounded like he was trying to blame Joseph Osiasi. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. But I definitely think that penalty really had nothing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
they had multiple chances to win this game. Like, let's be honest. Like, I understand, you could say Joe Burrow was missing some of his offensive linemen, but that wasn't the fact. But they were able to do it against the Bills. I can't see no reason why they can't do it against the Chiefs. Yeah. And I understand, the Burrowhead comment got in their – it might have got – I could definitely tell it got in their heads because why would Travis Kelce be talking about it in his podcast? Like, that's kind of like how it kind of did it like. So, like, but they didn't use it as, like, a thing. Like, they didn't, like, try to make it sound like, oh, yeah, we're going to do is, like, be upset about it. No, they're going to, like – they're going to play a good 60 minutes of football, like a really good 60 minutes of football. And I think that that they just made more plays, and that's how they won the game. I'm not going to make – everyone kept on making excuses about the refs' calls, but that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't – like the Bengals still have multiple chances to win the game. So I'm not going to be here making excuses saying it's the refs' fault why they lost the game.
No, and again – I really, really – obviously the Chiefs have really great chemistry. There's a lot going on there, but I really, really like some of the things that I read coming out of the Bengals locker room. Like when, if that's how you say his name, Osiasi, he was obviously distraught, really, really sad. Zach Taylor, coach, right?
He's a Bengals coach.
Zach Taylor. Went up to him in the locker room, gave him a hug. The guy's literally crying in Taylor's shoulder, but just, there to support him. He goes and he sits down on the bench. Reporters come swarming around him, and then one of his teammates, I don't know if it's a defensive lineman or somebody, one of his teammates comes over, stands behind him, and tells the reporter, if I hear any dumb questions, I'm shutting the whole thing down. And there was a couple questions that the reporter asked, and he told the reporter, that's a stupid question. We don't like it. Ask another one. And so he stood there and defended him because he knew he was in a weak spot. He didn't want the guy to break down in front of all the reporters, so he wanted to add that little bit of strength to him. But, yeah, I mean, it was like one of those opportunities or one of those instances where you don't want to see a guy go through something like that. But on the other hand, it really shows you like the humanity of it and also the support that like what it means to be a real team. Because being a real team, it's all great when you win the Super Bowl or when you win the championship, but the real test is when you're losing. Who's going to stand by you when you're losing? And what I heard from the Bengals side, that's a real team.
Absolutely, and I definitely think, I know we've been saying this for a while now, but Bengals have a great future. They have their quarterback. They have their receivers to surround him with good players. The one thing is still the O-line. Yeah, like that's obviously a question. Like this team is built for success. This is not the same old Bengals losing the wild card round, having losing seasons. They are the new Bengals.
Did you hear when Burrows was asked about like what he thought the window was, like the window being the number of years that he thinks that they have to go for the Super Bowl? Did you hear that?
I didn't even hear that, but that's actually impressive that you saw that.
So this reporter asked Joe Burrow, like, what do you think the window is? Because obviously you're going to have players that are leaving for free agency.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
all that. And he goes, my career is my window. And I was like, wow, that's confidence. But he followed it up by saying, with the coaches that we have in that room, the support system that we have in that room, the GM that we have up in the head office, the players that we have in that locker room, he's like, my career is my window. We're in it for a long time.
And my thoughts about that actually is Joe Burrow he's definitely a good teammate, and I know like he understands the NFL is a business, and your favorite teammates, or I don't know like how they say it down there, but like the teammates that you like or the people who are on his side or have his back, obviously they'll probably sometime in their career leave, whether they're not the same player for whatever reason, money, whatever. But he actually understands the NFL business, and if you have a quarterback who understands the NFL business, like he's gonna be okay if one of his favorite teammates leave or like brothers, whatever, however they say it, brothers leave, like he's gonna be okay. They're gonna be just fine without them, and
He'll be okay if some of his O-line leaves. I know that.
and that's probably true too. But I definitely think that the offensive line needs to have a good game like pretty much every game. Actually, there was another guy who actually had a bad offensive line for a couple of years. A lot of people obviously know it is Ben Roethlisberger for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In his beginning of his career, he didn't have one of the greatest O-line. I think he got like sacked like a lot of times throughout the 2 years. I think around like 90 times or something. And that's
Yeah, he's a big target too.
yeah, but towards the end of his career, like the offensive line just got better every year. He got more protection, and that's what I think that could happen with Joe Burrow. Like during his career, there's going to find ways to get better and to get better every year, and that's definitely Joe Burrow's definitely a good player. He's a fighter. He definitely is built for the Super Bowl.
And he can run too. Like he channeled his inner Jalen Hurts on a couple little plays there, little running plays. He juked a couple defensive men. It was kind of impressive. So yeah, it'll be fun. Obviously we got the one big game. You and I are going to be paying close attention to that because of the local ramifications. Eagles being our team in the Super Bowl, but a lot to look for.
Yo!